This is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. Ah, you're right. An important place like Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stop...
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion. I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand?
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again.
That case had nothing to do with him. Huh? What's going on? Why is she...
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerate, but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here, and if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven—
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fast so, Your Honor? Is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who—
That person is— Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabaret— Huh? What
I've heard of them, but weren't they
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredible— And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged.
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and members of the guards, please contact Miss— Mr. Marcel, you will not—
Apologies. It all just happened so quick. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just—
Very well. In that case, since both—
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago. To the case of only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all—
Navia, do you really think that come on. Why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I— If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that bank—
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm— Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before—
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from— When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot— The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was after that, the true culprit turned the third— Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained— The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thought. However, in the end, he reconsidered. And unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had all... This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to... Something... A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guard, but now it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at... Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve...
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been...
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should
but I think I agree with everything Navia just said.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, One, do you have the...
I'm afraid... I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. We should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a...
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after...
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified...
I've thought about this too. And the answer is the dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial... My father could have exposed it for all to see, but at that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward... What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on...
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next top.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter, but what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brain? But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, and once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to...
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask him. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from... But since he entrusted his will to you,
So, during the duel, did...
Yes, as a champion duelist, I've fought many battles, and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for just one look, and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live, or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended...
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father...
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the series?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing and, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because the culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after... I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your...
No need to appeal to...
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person... On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor...
Know what you can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being Do you know what the biggest flaw in your...
I suppose you're...
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high... In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only... But the disappearances began before I ever...
I do apologize, demoiselle.
No.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of... You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family, could those records and testimonies do something to appease the
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared... But aren't you going against all of his wishes? And he wished for you to become more rational, collected, once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things.
This isn't just about me. And it's the biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse. The people who lost their loved ones to the serial... Many people's images are flashing before... And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've...
I was waiting for you to...
Illusion shattered!
Eye for an eye!
There is no escape!
amazing! Now we can swim to the top! But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Rain outlines your fate.
Illusion shattered! Rack and ruin! Go! Shine down! Eye for an eye!
No, my sword!
Ring cutter! Rack and ruin! Flood of frost! Illusion shattered!
Now the path is clear! Let's go!
For an eye! Now you shall perish! Ha! Shine down!
No, my sword! Let me weave you a bow.
Rack and ruin! Inazuma shines eternal!
After all, though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, season 2, but... Why are... Huh? You mean the girls from... And then... They were turned... And all the boxes of things. These names. Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the... Mixing in progress. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's super obvious. What's this over here? Looks like some kind of Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female... Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's... How can someone write something that terrible in such a map? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did... Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache was... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, what... In any case... Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here! And it's full of water! That means this is where they make all the synth! And that special if you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth! But the Paimon will take notes on this... Let's see what's written here! Nothing escapes the... Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an Yep! It's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a... This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he can act whenever he wants to make our lives... I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like... Yeah, we haven't found anything that... No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. You take that side, and Paimon will take this side. Check... Nothing at all! And Paimon can't even find snacks either! Whoa, really? Let Paimon see! Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her diary. Aw, it's just a normal diary chronicling... So many! A whole page's worth! The final name she decided... Marcel! Wait, but... Marcel's pretty old. Hey!
And whose image do you see? Is it a man named... Oh.
I've merely
I was waiting for you.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my...
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this?
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence... But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you...
Huh?
We've investigated your lair, and we already... After your lover, Vignier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to it. You even created Marcel as a new identity, and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that... And with that, Marcel's motive...
This information regarding your past... Well, Marcel, do you know where you... You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away. Instead, so, you never noticed how...
You also never understood Boss's real expectation.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself.
Do you think? Do you... pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, they said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, you only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice. Your beloved Vignier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she... But I'm not from this blasted place. So I...
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Do you all see? I can't go. I can't follow. So if I can't... I did all of that. And in the end, that accursed... I spent my entire life living on pins and needles. Only to get...
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Go...
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! Vignier, please, Vignier! Don't...
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction...
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that...
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize... The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women to cover his tracks. He invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a bit. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president, Callus. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect and just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial... The oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the... According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, guilty.
Guards! Take the
Good. It's what he...
With that, the serial...
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true...
Yippee! He's hurt so many innocent innocent people and... Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were
The day our late boss had always hoped for is...
Yeah. See, Papa?
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been... Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way.
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of the...
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must...
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the...
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just...
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that the guilty party has been identified, and thus we now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique de... According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse, guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! What's with this verdict? Is your just...
Huh? This has never happened before. The origin...
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case.
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect in...
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Nouvelette, what's going on?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine, all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know what happened there either.
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like...
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be... Don't tell me.
But the way she looked just now...
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that... And, of course, for every performance, there is a... If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, everything he's done, not to mention all shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand... Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now...
So she chose to make her...
So you're saying we shouldn't...
She probably just put on that performance to save face. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity.
All right. Even though we feel, after all, he's done plenty of bad
Huh? Go!
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing?
Stop resisting arrest!
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. I erased all records of that name.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're the Fountain of Lucine? Then... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her once.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killer...
Paimon agreed!
This request, is it worth as much to you?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth it.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just as... Very well.
Your Honor,
I will go with him. You do not...
In that...
Thank you. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it. So you heard it too?
Vinier, it's me! It's...
Vache?
I'm here!
Hey, wait!
Vinier, is that you? It's me!
Vache? Why did you come?
It's been more than 20 years. All this time, only the thought of I must be dreaming. Who would have thought? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live.
But Vache, if you ask me, this... If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts and my work. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. It's all because of your selfishness.
Wait, you are...
You're right. I am not Vinier. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea. I'm Cressy. The only one I am not.
Why? But then...
She doesn't want to see you anymore. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our future. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you... You are a liar. A heartless murderer. The only thing you are not is Vinier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vinier's, she has had nothing.
No! Vinier!
You still don't understand. When I said don't look, but on top of that, she also said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no Vache. Vache? Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Huh. Well met, partner. I knew something.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
Sounds like you're really enjoying life.
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even this time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people...
So his name's definitely...
It's been the dearest wish.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness. Secret Tales of the Yellow Robe. To be fair, though, it was she was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time, so we...
Oh, that's great! Paimon also thought Clarand wasn't actually...
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved... Oh, actually...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave. And tell him... And on top of that...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too! We also...
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off.
Yeah, you're right. Huh. This is where my father's grave...
Huh? There's so much... Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel...
In that case, I will stop.
You really could use some pointer in any case.
Well, ever since that day, there was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to human... Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. that there was nothing, should have been nothing, but Mr. Callus proved me utterly and decisive, if not for his sacrifice. The serial Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associate, and in the end, from a certain justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person. This regret has filled me with a sadness. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epicles indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your...
So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the...
Sorry about that.
Didn't I just say...
So Navia and Neuvillette... Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're... Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon... Huh? Oh no. Anyway, Neuvillette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't...
Huh?
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her?
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the streets today, so...
I see.
Well, it's...
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be...
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his... There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea.
Huh. So it really was wherever...
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, most...
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly revert? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its law. Is there anything else you... That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people... Does that appropriately summarize...
That's right!
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words,
A prophecy? Of the former Hydroarch?
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels, and the ability of the people of Fontaine. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, if the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy...
But with Farina being the weak...
Is there anything else? My apologies. Mind. However...
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Ooh.